The election of Donald Trump was a collective decision error. His presidency is already a disaster. He must leave office as soon as possible, either voluntarily, by impeachment, or under the provisions of the 25th Amendment. And we must find a way to avoid making the same mistake again. Because of the poisonously polarized political climate in this country, I will sound to some like a bitter anti-Trump partisan. If what I said angers you, and you're ready to conclude I am just an anti-Trump partisan, you may as well stop watching. You won't learn anything, and you will just get more frustrated. This is the nature of the polarized mindset. In trying to make this video, I kept writing and rewriting my statements because I wanted to find the exact right way to phrase things so that everyone would understand, even if they didn't agree. But I eventually realized I can't do it. Anything I say on this topic will be misinterpreted by partisans on one side or the other. In a polarized environment, there is nothing you can say that somebody won't willfully misunderstand. So I have two options. I could shut up, but I am not going to do that. The situation is too serious. It's my responsibility to speak up. So the other option is to just speak as straightforwardly as I can and tell what I believe is the truth as clearly as I can. I'm not insisting that I'm right. If Trump serves to the end of his first term, and the majority of voters think he did even an adequate job, not necessarily a good job, then I will be proven wrong. You won't believe this, but I would be delighted. I wouldn't even mind if Trump bragged about it a little bit. The videos on this playlist are based on the premise that Trump's election is a mistake that we cannot afford to repeat. If we cannot elect better presidents, we can't have our democracy anymore. The way to avoid electing an unqualified individual in the future is to understand the social and cognitive processes that led us to elect Trump. About 62.8 million people voted for him, and as of October 2017, most of them still do not think they made a mistake. These videos are for everyone else, those who voted against him and those who voted for him and now regret it. Now, some people who didn't vote for Trump tend to feel smug and superior to those who did. Now, to these people I say, stop it. The same social and cognitive processes that led some people to vote for Trump lead the rest of us to invest our money badly, make really stupid purchases, sometimes marry the wrong people, choose the wrong friends, and make other more serious mistakes with our lives. In understanding what happened in the Trump election, we have to avoid the mistake of focusing only on Trump. Some people think Trump fooled tens of millions of people into voting for him because he's a brilliant liar. That is false. Abraham Lincoln once said, "No man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar in the long run." If you lie all the time, you have to be a damn genius to keep your lies straight. Donald Trump is not a genius. He seems to have no memory at all. He doesn't even seem to know when he contradicts himself. He seems to have given up on keeping his lies straight. So if Trump is not a brilliant liar, why did so many people fall for him? Political polarization and the polarized mindset is the reason that some people literally could not hear and process the truth about Trump. In polarized situations, people pick a side and they identify with it. They put themselves into their choice. Some voters identified with Trump, and once they did, their support for him became part of their own self-image and self-esteem. They simply couldn't admit the truth without losing their self-respect. So the first part of the explanation for what happened in the Trump election has to do with polarization and identification. The second part of the explanation has to do with the way Trump supporters handled the information they got. One consequence of polarization is that it makes all information uncertain. When partisans can't even agree on basic facts, it makes the world seem more confusing and ambiguous. Ambiguity produces uncertainty and stress. We look for someone who understands the world and knows what we should do. Now remember, we don't choose a leader the way we choose a brand of soap. In some sense, we don't so much choose a leader as fall for them, the same way you would fall for a lover. Once you do, you process information about the leader in a biased way, the same way you process information about a lover or a family member. I try to correct cognitive biases in my thinking most of the time, but I don't do that with my wife and friends. I play up their strengths, I make excuses for their faults, I ignore negative information about them and remember positive information. I'm not apologizing for it. That's what you're supposed to do with your friends and loved ones. But you cannot do it when you're choosing a leader. Yet, many Trump supporters did just that. We can't let it happen again.